Man of many mistakes. I made them so you don't have to. But you can if you want to. Okay. Today's topic. I forgive you, Father. I forgive you, Father. I think there was a few episodes ago where I tried to debunk the I didn't grow up with the dad syndrome. And I got some pretty decent feedback on your thoughts. So I figured I'd come and give you a different optic of where I was talking about and where I'd like to take this. I forgive you, Father. We all have a default setting when it comes to life. We all have a place we run to that's safe. So if we're challenged or if we're pushed against the wall with no way out, we have a default setting. And a lot of our default settings is, well, I didn't grow up with a dad. I didn't know my father. I didn't have my father. My father passed before I was even born. That's a lot of people's default setting, whether it be men or women. When I say I forgive you, Father, no different than I forgive you, Mother. This is a duty that I must see through in order for me to be free. I cannot hold on to my resentment for my father. I cannot hold on to the hatred for my father. I cannot hold on to the fact that my father wasn't around and did not protect me from my mother. I must forgive my father because, see, here's the thing with fathers and children. A dad loves his child more than anyone knows. And a dad puts a plan together in his mind on how his child, the outcome, what he'd like to feed the child. I'd like to feed the child sports. I'd like to feed him books. I'd like to feed her education. I'd like to feed them a loving household. So these are all the plans that a man puts together because he's not afraid of making this happen. He's not afraid and in fear of these things coming true because he's capable. A father interrupted in his plan becomes a broken man. And if you ever want to see a broken man, just keep watching the videos. A father interrupted becomes a broken man. What do I mean? If the father isn't able to fulfill his fatherly duties the way he has to, there's a breaking point he will reach. And there's a fight or flight place he will reach. And some days he'll take the flight way out. And some men will take the fight way out. So we must forgive our fathers that wasn't around. We must forgive them because we have no idea what the turmoil was during a time of my youth, of your youth. They have no idea the dynamic between the dad and the mom, the dad and his mom, the dad and his girl's family, the dad and his family, the dad and his friends. There's so many dynamics that come with a father because he has to fulfill so many roles that his resources have to be plenty. He cannot be stifled. He can't be held back or restricted. So your dad might have wanted to give you the best ever in the world, but was restricted and was broken. Your dad chose to leave you for the sake of you having a chance because he knew him staying would be disaster. So he chose or was told to leave and pick it up the pieces and start all over again. And if men know anything about starting all over again, keep watching the videos. Starting all over again. Oh my gosh. You get to a point where you just can't do it anymore. And you get to a point where you have to save your life. You have to save your life. And that is when we disappear. So now the child grows with resentment because you left my mom and you left me. And this is what the child hears over the years in the household with the absent father. And this is what the child becomes. But the child must realize that in order to break that and become who you really are, you must forgive. You must forgive your father for not being there. You must forgive him for coming home drunk. You must forgive him for yelling at you. You must forgive him for yelling at your mom. You must forgive him for not coming home last night. You must forgive him for that extramarital affair he had. Yeah. See, this thing, it goes so deep that you may be afraid of it. This burns. You must forgive him for molestation. Yeah. You must forgive him for abuse. Yeah. You must understand that your father was living in a spirit that was not him either. So he's bringing into your life what he knows, what he's been through, his experiences. And innocently, it's coming into your life. You must come to a point of life where you forgive those evil ways of your father so you can be free. That's the only way to freedom and to a real chance of life on earth and to a real chance of not having regrets before your dying day and a real chance of giving the glory to yourself and the Most High that you were able to forgive. Because let me tell you something, when you forgive, that thing spreads. People see a different you. They see a glow that they wish they had. And some people's pride is so thick that they don't even ask you, why are you glowing so much? They just assume stuff. And that's where we go wrong. Don't be afraid to ask. If you see someone glowing, hey man, let me get some of that. How do I do that? Well, you got to forgive. And that's where it all starts. So today, whether your dad is alive, whether your dad is abandoned or absent, not around, or whether he's just a phone call away, take the time and forgive him. It will release you. Now here's the catch before I go. Don't just use words to forgive him. Mean it. Live by it every day. Never take a day off of your forgiveness. And watch the abundance that you'll get in life. Watch the love that you'll Love will spew out of you in a way where you don't even understand what this is. It gets scary. It almost gets scary, like, whoa, this just feels too good. Why does this feel so good? But don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it. Stay with it. That's what this world needs now. The devil is winning at an all-time high. I mean, he can take days off and still win. Okay? The Most High, he needs more soldiers. He needs more messengers. He needs his word to be spread. He needs his love to be spread. That's my why. I had to forgive my parents in order for me to be able to tell you this stuff. Isn't that amazing? I had to do that. It's remarkable. I had no idea what I was doing or where I was going, but when you get your call, when the Spirit talks to you and it puts you on track, you really don't understand what the hell was I doing with my life before this day. What? You can't tell me that's what I was doing with my life before this day. I don't even recognize that person. I would never do what that person did again if I had the chance. No, I would be here. So I made the mistake so you don't have to. Take it from me now. Call your Father today. Call him in heaven. Call him in hell. Call him over across the country. Call him next door. Call. Give him for all his absences and all his blunders. Because let me ask you this. If God forgives, why can't we?